What's up, guys? Ted from Immersion here, and I'm back with another D&D Weekly update. Sorry, this is a bi-weekly, as in we're covering 2 weeks. I missed the last week, but there was a lot of preparation and things going on, as we did just have the 24-hour stream this past weekend. I'm only going on 5 hours of sleep after being up for over 24 hours to do the whole stream. Slept for 5 hours, woke up, hung out with the family, had some food, jumping on to do this video. But unfortunately, there's actually not that much news, because a lot of the build-up we've had news-wise for D&D has been their build-up of their 24-hour stream, or their 12-hour stream, whatever it was. Their Extra Life stream was also this weekend, as it was Extra Life Game Day. So most of the content coming out of D&D has been from that. Also, I'll show you something interesting why I can't give you even more information in just a sec. But probably the most interesting thing that you'll see D&D related that came out in the past 2 weeks is Chris Perkins' Dice Camera Action Sock Puppet Theater. For a half an hour in the studio by himself with sock puppets, Chris Perkins reenacts the first 60-some-odd episodes of Dice Camera Action, the Tuesday night D&D stream with Pro Jared, Anna Prosser Robinson, Holly Conrad, Nate Wants to Battle, and Chris Perkins as the DM. He tells you that entire story, which plays through Curse of Strahd, Storm King's Thunder, and now into Tomb of Annihilation, behind a couch with sock puppets. And if you want to see any of that stuff or curious, you're going to want to stay tuned. So, this is happening. Can't go to the D&D website right now to get you guys all the news and official articles from D&D. Oh, no, because, well, I guess the Sararak did something, and the website's down for maintenance. So I can give you what other information I can glean, and we'll go from there. So, the Facebook and everything has been relatively quickly updated, so I looked through here to try to grab as much information as I could. So, big news, which was sort of a shocker to me, but I'll be honest, I have not kept up with Force Grey, Lost City of Omu. I have not kept up with it. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I just haven't gotten around to the rest of them. But that does give me a nice binge watching going forward. So, what is this about? The 18th, which I thought was a surprise move, to be honest with you. But I know there's not necessarily sync up, but Saturday the 18th, you can see right here in November, in Brooklyn, New York, there's going to be a live show of Force Grey. So that's going to be starring Dylan Sprouse, Deborah Ann Wall, Ukush Mbadakar, and Joe Manganiello. And I guess that everybody but Brian Posehn, who is part of the original crew. So then for the rest of the adventure, and I mean maybe something happens and his character dies. I honestly don't know. And then Matt Mercer is the DM. So doors open at 2, show is at 3, events ends at 5. The only reason I say what that's interesting is because originally, well, not originally, this is the weekend of PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia, where I will be there, and I mean, I can talk ad nauseam about how I'm going to be there and what I'm going to be doing while I'm there, but originally the Critical Role panel and Critical Role signing at PAX Unplugged was supposed to be Saturday, the 18th. They have since moved that to Friday the 17th to, like I said, it seemed like a surprise call to make this live show to kind of be the finale. So, you know, we can see a little bit about all the characters and who's involved, and then what's going on here. So, in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. After 18 episodes, Force Grey survive the tomb will serve as an exciting conclusion to the story as the adventurers head into the Tomb of the Nine Gods and confront whatever horror awaits them. So there you go. The folks at Roll20 have put out Hoard of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat as a bundle for $50 available on Roll20. Now, see, they've been going back and doing older episodes. They did Curse of Strahd, or older content. They did Curse of Strahd. Now they're doing the Tyranny of Dragons. I am curious because I am currently running Hoard of the Dragon Queen on the channel, and I plan to run both Tyranny of Dragons storylines, Hoard of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat, and I am running it entirely via Roll20. So I'm curious, and I may want to think about purchasing this as you know, as I'm looking at it and saying, you know, this might not be a bad idea, because I don't have to do any of the work. I don't have to look for maps, look for items, look for enemy tokens. They'll all be done for me. Cross-link, I mean, look at all this stuff. It is $50, and I already own both the books, so it's not necessarily great for me. And then I'm spending money again. But battle-ready maps, 10 original battle encounter maps, which is cool, exclusive to the Roll20 module. Camp, swamp, daytime road, nighttime road, ice flow, town, forest, tavern, volcano, cave, and evil temple. Rollable tables for all shapeshifters. That's not, like, super useful. Rollable tables for loot drops. Okay, I mean, that's for if you encounter, like, a dragon horde and you gotta roll for what's in it. So that one's relatively useful. Rollable table. Random encounters is always nice. Interactive council scorecard. That comes later, but that's actually pretty useful stuff. It just takes one thing out of your hands. And statted tokens, that is definitely useful. And then cross-linked handouts, 300 hours of campaign. I mean, I can't promise that it'll happen, but I may reach out to the folks from Roll20 and see if I can't, since I've done like sort of promo stuff for them and I'm running the game, maybe I can be lucky enough to get a free copy. I highly doubt it, but hey, it's worth a shot before I try to go buy it myself. And if I do, you guys can expect a review of the actual content and how it stacks up. Was it worth the money versus what you could just probably find on the internet or make yourself. Okay, I'm not going to play it. Let me skip ahead. But basically, actually I'll play a little bit just with the video in the background, but you can see, again, as I described, Sock Puppet Theater with Chris Perkins. Strix, Dieth, Paulton, you get the point here. Everybody having conversations in sock puppet form, because this is the life that Chris Perkins lives now. And yeah, 33 minutes of that. So, it's funny. I recommend you check it out. But, anyway, let's move on. So, this was unfortunately, at the time of me posting all this stuff, the Extra Life stream has already happened, and I couldn't post this really ahead of time because I was doing my stream myself. So there was Mike Merles did a game at Gamehole Con. There was a Misclicks game. I'm actually curious to see what this hosting Team Hasbro is. 11:30 p.m. to 8 a.m. That's a long shift. They're hosting. Idiot. Hosting on Twitch Team Hasbro. I don't know what Team Hasbro was doing for Extra Life. Then Encounter Roleplay did Greg the Musical. Lauren Urban, aka Oboe Crazy, did Escape from Annihilation. Sean Wood did The Lost Kenku. And then on the 4th, Chris Perkins ran a game. And if I saw correctly, Chris Perkins' game, he was running it for, like, Ed Greenwood was one of the people in the game. If you don't know who Ed Greenwood is, he's the person who created the Forgotten Realms. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to check that out whenever I can find the video. And then lastly, D&D Beyond has been doing their coverage of every, of all the subclasses. They have since completed their coverage of Subclasses for Xanathar's Guide, which, by the way, comes out early release this Friday the 10th. So it's like a regular release date, I think, is either the 20th or the 21st. Early release is the 10th. I will have it in hand on the 10th, and you can expect a What's New video from me. Just to give you a heads up format-wise, for that video when it comes out, typically I go through everything. As I've gone through pretty much every single one of these classes in Unearthed Arcana. I'm going to do a quick overview, just talk about all the classes, and then go into what is literally new stuff in there, and then I will do a deep dive into comparing each class with what it was in Unearthed Arcana and what changed in its own separate video. So, just to give you a heads up. But we saw the remaining subclasses: Redemption, Storm Herald, Hexblade, Kensai, Circle of the Shepherd. But then we've since moved on past that, so we're getting new stuff. So we had Jeremy Crawford talk about the Eldritch Invocations, which was cool because we got some cool information in those videos. Like the improved Pact Blade for the Warlock now lets you summon a bow, so it doesn't just have to be a melee weapon. He talks about the new spells in Xanathar's Guide. There are a lot that let you summon momentary housing. Summon a temple, summon a druid grove. We learned that there's Greater Fine Steed as a spell, a 4th level spell that lets the paladin summon a better steed. And then he talks a lot about Dungeon Master tools, things like revised downtime, revised traps, And what I'm really excited about is the way that skill proficiencies or tool proficiencies can interact with things. Like basically giving you a reasons to take cook's tools or glassblower's tools or things like that. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. Again, with the D&D, I'll just go flip back and we'll just check real quick to see if they fixed the server maintenance. No. So I can't give you much more information. However, our Extra Life stream did conclude. We blew past all of our goals and raised almost $2,400 as a team. Between myself and all the people playing, we raised over $3,000. It was very exciting. And it was a great game. I had a lot of different people that I haven't had on the stream in the past. New players, from some people I've never played with before ever. Some people I've played only a little bit with. It was great to have everybody in here. We had a blast. And I'm going to be editing those videos, and at a request by everyone kind of involved, I'm going to break them out by roughly their 3-hour sessions and upload each of those to YouTube. They are all available currently on Twitch, but you have to kind of sort through to see what you're looking for. And I'm going to, all the breaks exist, like when we stop to take a break between sessions, and I'm going to cut the breaks out for the YouTube video so you just get the gameplay. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Anyway, guys, I will be back this week, tomorrow night, Monday, with Princess of the Apocalypse, with our typical crew. And then I will be back Tuesday, finally, back with Tomb of Annihilation, as the party deals with the aftermath of leaving the Fane of the Night Serpent, and potentially having to deal with a giant angry mob of Yuan-Ti, and potentially the Red Wizards as well. So, if any of that sounds interesting, be on the lookout for that. I'll be at PAX Unplugged, and I'll be at Rhode Island Comic-Con for at least a day. So maybe I'll see you guys out there. You can click right over here to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And we are we're less than 10 subscribers away from 1,000 on Twitch. When we hit that, there's going to be a big giveaway. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.